All right, the next event on the track, it's the steeplechase final. There are the collegiate and meet records, both set 2 years ago. And there is the favorite on paper, Doris Lemngole, the fantastic freshman from Alabama and Kenya.
The fastest time among collegians so far this season, 9:22:31. And here is the reigning steeple champion, Olivia Marquezich of Notre Dame. She has run really well on this track as well. She was 4th at the U.S. Championships here 1 year ago.
And because it's an inside water jump, they start on the backstretch. They will go by the water jump the first time around and take their first barrier just past the start-finish line. 4 barriers per lap, plus the water jump. And it's the Fighting Irish duo up front. Also some very important Florida points to be had here with Elise Thorner of Florida, the senior from Great Britain.
Also note that is Greta Karina Skaita, who is on the shoulder of Marquezich. She's in the all blue with the Cal Baptist across the chest. She finished runner-up last year in this race. She aggressively went out to the front and had a commanding lead, but then Marquezich was able to draw upon an incredible closing kick on the final lap. So it'll be interesting to see how much differently, or should it differently, which looks like right now it will play out from what we experienced last year. Doris Lemngole being a bit of a wild card in this, being that she is a freshman at Alabama. Worth noting, though, she and Marquezich did go head-to-head earlier this season at Wake Forest, so some familiarity with these athletes running in the same competition.
First time over the water jump in the women's steeple. These barriers and water jump are 30 inches high as compared to the men, who are 36 inches high. That's the senior Greta Karina of California Baptist, Costa Mesa, California, Orange County, my neck of the woods. And the pace has picked up thanks to Karina getting up there and pushing things a little bit. When Marquezich won the title last year, she ran the 3rd fastest performance in collegiate history, but the event continues to improve, times continuing to drop.
And at the NCAA level, it continues to get even more international with the number of athletes who you have here at this championship and those who have aspirations of representing in the Olympic Games. 76-second last 400 meters, and that is what I was told they were kind of aiming for. The opening few laps, they were going to feel it out, be somewhere between the 76 and 79 second mark. See how things settle in and adjust accordingly. As you watch them hurdle, one of the critical factors is how much time you spend in the air. Not everyone has perfect hurdle technique, but the least amount of time possible you can be in the air is going to help, because you want to be able to keep that speed carrying you through. Also critical, how much momentum can you get off of the water jump? And this is something that Marquezich is really good at. She projects well out of the water and was able to see, she does not lose a step coming out of it. That's sometimes when people get trapped at that point.
Karina Skaita also very good at it. She's got the exact right stride length, and she does not miss her rhythm off of the water jump. The closer you can get to the end of that water, it's where it's most shallow, and if that matches with your natural stride rhythm off of the push at the top of the barrier, you get your momentum to continue. And in that last lap, that is critical, because there's just 1 barrier remaining after that water jump, and we've seen a lot of national championship hopes dashed by failing at that final water jump and that final barrier.
And not only is Karina Skaita a really good and efficient hurdler, she's gained valuable experience in the last year. In addition to that runner-up effort last year at this meet, she went on to represent Lithuania at the World Championships. So as she continues to get more experienced, it's only benefiting her and complementing just how strong she is as a runner and hurdler.
Olivia Marquezich has the Olympic qualifying standard, so she'll be right back here in a few weeks contesting the Olympic trials, trying to make the U.S. team.
We've pointed out Elise Thorner of Florida in the all-white. Just behind her is Laura Taborda of Arkansas. And when you're talking about team implications, her placing is significant here. She was last year's Portuguese steeplechase champion and ran her personal best in the semifinal just 2 days ago, Dwight. And that's always an important factor to note, because when an athlete can PR in the semifinal, that's a good indication that they are primed and ready to do something special into a final. And she's in good position right now, setting in 5th alongside her conference mates Elise Thorner and Doris Lemngole.
75.5 the last lap, 9:28 pace now. Doris Lemngole right up there, marking both Karinauskaite and Markezic, just in case anything happens, but they're slowing things down now. You can start to see the top 6 or 7 bunching up a bit, and that's problematic in any race, but more so in the steeplechase, because you've got to have room to figure out your approach to these barriers, and more importantly even than the water jump. And let's revisit what we talked about yesterday and what the coaches have said about this lead-in, the lead-in ramp to the water jump here at Hayward Field.
Lemngole did an excellent job of doing exactly that, Dwight. I was talking to coaches who say you really have to accelerate even going into the turn. You cannot wait to see where the water jump is to go. You have to start to accelerate before you even see it, because you'll lose momentum if you don't continue to accelerate all the way going into that water jump. And if you wait to see it, you're too close to it. It's just about 6 strides before you get to it, with just how steep of a curve that is. Lemngole going out to the edge of lane 1, even bouncing out into lane 2 just a bit, but a response from Markezic. She is going to fight with her and go.
Lemngole right there on the outside of lane 1 with Markezic up against the rail. It's hard for you to see what we were talking about with this water jump, because in most stadiums where the water jump is inside, it's right in the middle of the turn. So you have an equal amount of space going into the jump and out of it. But here it's a bit off center. It's closer to the track as they enter it. So that gives them the shorter run in and makes it more difficult for them to gauge their steps. They have to become a little bit like a horizontal or vertical jumper to figure out where their steps should be.
And that's a beautiful vantage point of it right there. Thanks to our fantastic production crew for allowing us to see it. And now you can see some of those who are in the trail pack kind of plopping into the water as that fatigue sets in. Now, when Markezic and Lemngole went head-to-head at Wake Forest, it was 1 mile to go that Lemngole plotted her move. She glances to see exactly where she is. She has gapped a little bit on Markezic to this point. As they come up with 2 laps to go, we will see how much of a surge Lemngole is able to put in and how much Markezic is able to react, and she reacts very well. She was able to take advantage thanks to that fantastic hurdle right there. Markezic, much more experienced in championship settings, but Lemngole, an incredibly high ceiling in this event.
Larry, we just saw 1,500 meter reigning champion Maya Ramzan show the world that Harvard does a little bit more than just studying, right? They run, but she made a move and laid the hammer down so that the field would not be able to cover it. Who do you think this race right now favors? Does it favor Markezic, who is the reigning champ, or Lemngole right now with the way they're running?
They both have fantastic closing kicks, so it's kind of equal at this point, because Markezic was unfazed when she had to close on Karinauskaite to win the title 1 year ago, and here she goes, right here. She's not going to wait until the bell. Markezic is going to try to press. At this point, it is this savvy senior versus the freshman phenom over the final 500 meters.
And I'll mention something else. When Markezic sees that Lemngole struggles a little bit on the landings from these barriers, it isn't quite right, doesn't feel quite right, that's a sign to her that she's tiring. As it is, Lemngole does not have great hurdle technique anyway. So at this point, maybe she just sits back, waits to make her move based on how Lemngole takes this next barrier and the final water jump. 68.5 on that last lap, so they're definitely cranking up, and a little bit of a gap developing from Lemngole back to Markezic.
Markezic is losing really no space, though. At this point, she's maintained the same distance. Lemngole is trying to get herself some insurance going into the water jump. This is critical.
From a team standpoint, Elise Thorner now back to 6th place for Florida. It's a good water jump for Lemngole. She showed nothing on that. Now just 1 barrier remaining and about an 8-meter lead. Markezic has got to move now and hope that Lemngole has a tough final barrier, or it's over. And we might be looking at a meet record here. Meet record is 9:12.5. 9:25.03. 9:16, sorry, meet record, that's correct. And she's going to get it. Doris Lemngole is going to set the collegiate record and get the meet record. The fabulous freshman from Alabama and West Pokot County, Kenya, breaks the collegiate record, wins the national title, and the collegiate record to boot. Elise Thorner finishing in 6th place. Sorry, Laura. That'll score 3 points for the Gators, maybe much needed 3 points.
Absolutely, and Jeanette Schrapp's coming up to get 3rd. What a phenomenal closing 400 meters from the Iowa State senior Jeanette Schrapp to finish in that top 3 with Karina Skaita in 4th. Look at the emotion from Doris Lemngole right now.
Yeah, she was in the zone during the race, but now she realizes what her effort has translated into. This was an excellent final water jump. She gave no indication to Marquesic that she was about to falter.
Another look from the side, projects well, kind of uses that barrier to push herself to the very edge of the pit. Marquesic gets out pretty quickly, but you can see isn't quite as smooth navigating that last one. And then this is where she throws down that last kick. She had been surging over the last 1,000 meters, and that continued right here into the finish. Fighting over the final barrier. The freshman winning her first NCAA championship in record-setting fashion.
And to her credit, the defending champion also running a big lifetime best in 2nd place. But it is the freshman from Alabama, Doris Lemngole, with a victory, the collegiate record and the meet record. She wins it with 9:15.24. Olivia Marquesic, the defending champion, getting 2nd. Elise Thorner, 3 points for Florida in 3rd. And the winner is downstairs with John.
I do have the steeple champion here in her first year of college track. Congratulations, Doris. Where is the most difficult part of that race as you went head-to-head with Olivia?
I think my most difficult part in steeplechase is jumping over the water part. It's tough to just pick up from there and continue with the race.
How did the race play out, maybe as you expected it beforehand, and then how it actually developed over the course of those 3,000 meters?
My plan was to just pick up after they start the race, but then I decided to go over with them, and when they pick up, I started picking up, and that's good. And that made me feel like try to push it after the Olivia, my best friend.
Your good friend. Well, congratulations, and it was a great last water jump that propelled you to victory. You are the national champ. Congratulations, Doris.
Thank you so much, and roll tide.